Good morning, welcome back. This is page 2. This is the second side. This is the second idea of secant, and it's still the measure of the angle cut by secants, right? That intersect is still half of something. Now, when you have two secants going through the circle and they intersect, this time we're going to look at our two arcs. Before we were playing with one arc. Now we're playing with two arcs that have been cut by this these secants, and so it's one half the difference between the two. That's what this page is all about. It's one half the difference between the two arcs that were cut, and so you're going to get three types of problems again. You're going to get a secant and a tangent as well, and that's going to create two arcs, and I'll show you what that looks like. But this first video, I just want to show you the differences between this type of problem and how to solve it. We have here an angle. We want angle 1. That's what we're trying to find. And we're given two different arcs that have been cut by these two secants. This angle here has cut into two different arcs, right? And so what we do is we find the difference between these arcs, and that's simple subtraction. So we're going to write in the numbers the way we should write in the numbers. And so angle 1 is 1/2 125 minus 45, and then that equals angle 1. Bring it down, do this math, and we have 1/2 of 80 equals angle 1, and then we do the 1/2, and anything times a half is like dividing by 2, and we have this angle here as 40. So this is 40. And that's the first way to solve. That's the easiest way to solve, and there are a lot of them like that. I guess the big idea is let's go ahead and talk about using our other our other idea here, which is, what if we take away one of these things, but we know this is 40? Well, then we're going to have to say to ourselves, all right, what are we missing here? We have CD, we don't have AB, and we have the angle. So I'm going to write it out the way it looks with everything we have, and then I want you to think about it. Say it out loud. 40 degrees is half of the difference between 125 and some unknown number, right? And so when we solve this type of problem, we have to get rid of the half first, unless we want to distribute the half, but we're going to get rid of the half first because it's so much easier. And how do you get rid of 1/2? Well, you multiply it by 2, right? So if you multiplied both sides by 2, put a 2 out here and a 2 here, we get back to where that 80 was. Remember, 80, we had 80 in our last experiment. So that's 125 minus x, okay? And right now we have a negative x going, and we're going to have a negative number on the other side, which is totally fine. So we're going to, if this is positive, we're going to make it negative on this side. I know a lot of you guys don't like this. Negative 125. So 80 minus 125 is negative 45 equals negative x. We got to keep that minus sign there, so we have negative x. So if everything is negative, you multiply everything by negative 1, and we get x equals 45. Now, for our purposes, we could just basically reason it out, but that's the way to solve it algebraically. That's how you find with one of the arcs missing and with the angle missing. And I'll come back and show you another video on how to solve with tangents as well.